Hey folks, and welcome to our next iteration of the Explain Everything Summer in-Service class. So today we're going to be talking about the Explain Drive, which is an essential skill to using Explain Everything in your classroom. So to start, when you first open Explain Everything on the home screen, you will see all of your recent projects here in the middle, as well as if you scroll down, you will see the Learn section, which is a bunch of videos that were created by the Explain Everything team, and they're quite good. There's some tutorials, very much like we've done in this class, about how to use Explain Everything and some of the advanced features. So if you need any extra help after this course is over, I definitely recommend you check out some of these videos. Anyway, if you move over to the right, on the right side of the home button, there's a thing called Library. Now the library, by default, will bring you to the projects on your device section. Now these are all the Explain Everything projects that you've ever worked on that particular iPad. These are the projects that you have saved to that iPad, but I should mention that they're saved on that iPad only. They're only accessible to you when using that specific device. So even if you log on to your Explain Everything account on a different device, it will only show the projects that you created using that device. So this causes a little bit of a problem, because what if you want to share your project with your students? Well, they clearly can't use a project that you have saved only on your iPad. And that's where the Explain Drive comes in. So up top you'll notice there's an option that says Explain Drive with a folder called My Drive. What the Explain Drive is, and for anyone who has any experience using cloud-based storage such as Google Drive, is an area where you can save your projects on the metaphorical cloud, and they are accessible to anyone, anywhere, from any device. And when I say anyone, that's only for people who have the correct access code. So you may remember that the very first day of this class, I shared a project with you that you used a code to download. Now these projects are very different than what we've done so far. Up until now, you have only created a video. So let's look at this sample project right here. Up until now, when you were done with your project, you clicked on the word Share, you selected the word Export, and you saved it as a video, and that's great. However, the product that was given at the end of sharing that video is just that. It's a video file. This person who watches that video cannot make any changes, they cannot edit, nor can they expand or interact with the project. It's just a video. Now this works great if you're flipping your classroom and making flipped learning videos. But what if you want your students to download your project and interact with it, record things on your project, expand on it, very much like you did in the very first week of this class, as well as a couple of the online sessions. You may think of the audio editing lesson as an example. I made a project, you downloaded it, and you edited my project. Well, this wouldn't work this way. So therefore, we need to save that project to what's called the Explain Drive. So when you click on the word Share, this time you would not share and then export, you would simply select the word Explain Drive. Now I'm not going to do it right now because I've already saved it to the Explain Drive, but you'll notice that if I go back to my library and select the word My Drive up top, there will be a lot of projects that are now saved more than just on this device. These are now projects that are available to be downloaded by anyone who has the access code that you give them. To get the access code, you must first make sure that you are in the My Drive section, and then locate the file that you'd like to share. So hypothetically, let's say I want to share the Explain Everything Introduction folder, I would then find the file and I'm going to select the three dots underneath it. I then select the word Details, and you'll see that I have an access code provided to me. That access code can be shared with anyone. perhaps on Google Classroom or written on the classroom board. And anyone can then access that project, you may remember, by simply going to the home screen, selecting the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner, and entering the code in the box. This is exactly what you have done a couple of times so far in this class. I'd like to point out, though, however, that a very common mistake that people make is when they go to their library and they go to the section that says Projects on your device, and they select the Details button. Oh no, it looks different. Mine's not working. Remember, this will only work for projects that are saved to the Explain drive. So, for an example, this web browser lesson is currently in the Projects on your device. Therefore, it's not eligible to be downloaded by anyone else. You would need to first go to the project, share, and upload to Explain drive. Once you do that, the project would be available for download in this section right here. And once you are in here, any of these projects will have the details with the access code. So that's the first part of your assignment this week. The good news is there is no video to make. You don't have to make a new lesson. What I would like you to do is simply select a project that you've already made, reopen the project, and upload it to the Explain drive. I want you to access that project in your My Drive folder and find the access code and share that with me on Google Classroom, much in the same way that you would share with your students. This is good practice for when you hopefully use this again with your students in the class. Now, continuing on, I want to point out that a lot of people might say, wow, after I have a lot of projects, this does get a little bit busy looking. And that's certainly true. As you can see, I have a lot of projects saved to my Explain drive, and I've only been using this app for a little under a year now, so I imagine that's going to continue to grow. So the good news is you can organize yourself using folders. As you can see up top, I have 3 folders, Spanish 1, Spanish 9, and Professional Development. In order to make a new folder, you select on the plus button in the upper right-hand corner, and then select New Folder. Title the folder whatever you like. I'm not going to make a new one right now, so I'm going to cancel, but you would select the word Done. And then the folder will appear here on the main screen. I should point out that a folder, when you make it by default, is private. It's no longer visible to anyone but you. This is on your drive and your drive only. Therefore, when we put a file in that folder, we have to give the file permission to be shared again. But it's a very small step, and it's certainly worth it for the sake of organizing your files. So let's do that right now as an example. Let's find something that would be classified as professional development. So this first one here, the Explain Everything Introduction, that would be classified as such. So to upload a file to a folder, I first select the word Select in the upper right-hand corner, and then tap the file or files. You can do this with multiple files at once. So for example, if I want all 3 of these, I would select all of them. But for now, let's just do one. I would select that file, and then in the upper left-hand corner, choose the arrow and folder icon. It's the one next to the red trash can. From here, it'll ask you which folder you'd like to place the file in. So I'm going to select Professional Development, and then click on the word Done. It'll warn you that you're placing the project in a private folder, but don't worry, I will show you how to share that file again. So for now, click on Confirm. You'll notice that it's going to disappear. It's no longer in the My Drive folder or the General folder, because if you select the Professional Development folder, first click Done, you'll notice that it's here. Oh look, I have 2 of them in here. Apparently I had 2 files. Now, in this folder I have all of my professional development files, but in order to share them publicly again, you'll notice that if I click on Details, its type is private. This is now a private project because I put it in a private folder. But don't worry, it's a very short fix. All you do is click on the 3 dots, click on the section that says Who has access, and change it from private to anyone with the link can download. The word link also applies to the code. Anyone with a link or a code can download. You'll notice that when I now click on the file, I have two of them. Hopefully it was that one. Nope, it was the first one, sorry. So when I click on the word details, you'll now notice that there is an access code because I made that file accessible to anyone with the code. Okay, so that's a very small step, but I do believe it's worthwhile for the sake of organizing yourself. So that's it. Using the Explain Drive is certainly essential to everything that I do with Explain Everything, and I do believe it's a very important skill for you as well. So I'd like you to practice accessing Explain Drive and locating the access codes for your projects, and perhaps even organizing yourself. If you'd like to try making some folders and putting some files in those folders, that would be great. And if you want to maybe take a screenshot of that for me, for those of you who don't know, a screenshot on the iPad is done by holding down the home button on the face of the iPad as well as the power button up top at the same time. And you'll have a picture sent to your folders. If you'd like to upload a picture of your screenshot of your folders, that would be awesome as well. But regardless, we're going to be utilizing all of these skills when we meet again for our last session in person in a week or two. So for now, signing off, good luck with everything, and of course, if you have any questions whatsoever, please